First of all, welcome to the course. Welcome to the course for AngularJS. Myself, Kadirmani Sugumar. You can call me Kadir. Little bit
Okay.
introduction about myself. I'm currently working as a data scientist, and I take training purely based on my passion. And I have a 6 years of experience. And we'll be using AngularJS. Mainly primarily, I use AngularJS to create rich and interactive real-time visualizations. And I take training for corporate employees, freshers within my own company, and also students at various institutes. The technology in which I train people, I've grouped it based on the technologies. So for web development, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, and AngularJS. For backend, I train people in Python, Django, and Pandas for data processing. And given my career as a data scientist, I also teach data science using R and visualization using D3. So in visualization, I mean a very rich visual, not the simple one that you see in Excel. And this will be like interactive visuals, and also MATLAB. So this is
Okay.
a little bit introduction about myself.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, let's. So why should you learn with us? Why can't you just take other online courses, or you can go for other offline courses? Why should you learn with Vybhava Technologies? Here, the whole idea is to have less theory and more hands-on. What I mean this is mostly we'll be going with some examples and teaching the behind concepts. So it will be like a theme-based training. We will not start with theory for 6 or 7 or 8 classes and then do small exercises. Right from day 1 or 2, we'll be targeting small demos. So it will be like a mini projects that you will be doing right from the day one. And slowly we will cover up all the concepts. So we in a small demo you will get to know what are the different types of topics involved for that small demo, and I'll be giving an introduction about those, and slowly I will introduce the tougher part of the concepts. So it will be theme based training, and it will be in aligned with what industry expects, because we myself recruit people, and I know what type of questions I ask and what is industry requires. So it will be in aligned. Whatever demos that we are taking, it will be in aligned with what you will be really doing it in a company if you gonna use AngularJS Data.
Okay.
What is AngularJS? AngularJS is like a next jQuery. It's slowly picking up the market. It's a JavaScript MVC framework. Okay, so mainly used to create single page applications like Twitter, and single page applications these days are becoming very popular. It has an excellent
Yes.
template engine. So front end, it has a complete solution for you, and it's becoming
Yeah.
easy. And if you look at few of the concepts, uh, uh, it will be like attractive actually. We create a lot of visuals using it, and animations. It will like be very good aesthetic as well. So it will be like you will enjoy while learning AngularJS. Said that it is also tough initially to learn, but when you learn it with the proper examples, it will become easy. So that's the whole idea behind team-based training instead of just going by theory and then practical in the end. A lot of people would say AngularJS is tough to learn. The learning curve is very high, but when you learn it once, the number of lines of code that you will be writing is very less for a particular task, which you compare it with Backbone.js or Ember.js. The number of lines of code you will be writing in AngularJS is very less. But at the same time, learning curve is high, and that's why you should learn it properly with proper demo examples. And that is what we are targeting in our course here. And as I said, why you should learn AngularJS to create more dynamic, robust web apps with less number of codes. And this was developed and maintained by Google engineers, so which is some attractive factor. If Google products, like if it is a Google product, obviously there you can expect a good mechanism in the backend. And popularity is exploding these days. What I mean by this, if you go to Google Trends and search for AngularJS versus Backbone.js, you will see that from 2013, the number of users that are using AngularJS has gone exponentially increasing, whereas Backbone is just linearly, slowly increasing. And the GitHub statics, if you since it's an open source, people can just download it from the GitHub. The number of stars for this particular GitHub repo is 41,000, and number of folks, meaning people who are trying to contribute, is around 18,000. So the community is good. So why you need a good community? Because since it's an open source, you might not have a proper manual, or you might not have a proper customer support because it's an open source. But if the community is good, any doubt you have, if you post it in a community, good chances that you will get a reply very immediately. So this the community plays a major background when you start learning, because when you encounter real world examples, you will have a lot of questions in your mind. For those, if you have a good community, you will get replies immediately. And market is also demanding for AngularJS these days. Around 1,000 jobs are there currently in Naukri and Monster, which means that you will get a job with less experience. And overall, this is the architecture which we will cover during the course. Just to give an idea of what AngularJS does, assume you are a user logging into some website which has HTML, CSS contents, and AngularJS controls what we should be doing in the web, what you should be viewing in the website, and it backend it also connect to a lot of services. And model here means data. Okay, so this we'll be covering it up during the course. Just to give you an idea of the architecture, moment we have a MVC architecture, it has a lot of advantages. First advantage is like your models, your views and controllers will be in different places. If things are in different places, they are easy to control by many people. So it's not like one people will be working on. If multiple people are working on, if you have a robust architecture in the back end, you can split the task between each of you. So data can one person handle separately, views one person can handle separately, controllers one person can handle separately. And also this helps in development and as well as in testing. So you'll, if you have separate modules, it's easy for testing as well. Instead of testing it everything on a fly, you test one module by another module. So that's why MVC is always good to have, and AngularJS is having such framework in the backend. Features of AngularJS, it's two-way data binding, which we will cover during the course. Data binding here means if you change something in one place and if you have a replicate of that in another place, both of the places it will get changes automatically. You need not trigger or you need not create a click events. And extended HTML, the template engine, the detectives is very helpful. Whatever common operations that you want to do, it will be available there. You will be creating new HTML tags. And as I said, it has MVC framework in the backend, and it also helps in testing as well. Prerequisite for this, yeah.
One doubt. MVC means?
Model view controller. So you have any idea
It
of
is
model view controller?
no.
Okay, so assume model view controller is like, so you have any idea of web framework?
Yes.
Yeah, so in web framework, you will have a front end and you will have a database and you will be connecting, you will be writing some code to get data from front end and store. Assume you have a Twitter page, okay? So someone is gonna tweet in your page, or assume it's like a comments page. User is going to comment your article. The moment he comments in your web page, this data has to get stored in a database. Am I right?
O-
So
Okay.
this front end is like a view. Whatever the client is viewing, it's like view. Assume it like to be a view. The template is like view. Okay.
Yeah.
Front
Yeah.
end. Okay. Model is your database data. So whatever user has entered, that is gonna get stored in the database. So model is database. Okay.
Okay.
That is for M. And controller C means which defines where the data should get stored and what the viewer should view. So it controls both model and view. So that is the primary controller. It decides what to do.
Okay.
Given any request from the client, what should be there in the front page, which data should go to the front page. Okay, so it interface between your model and view, between your database and your HTML CSS template. Okay, so it interacts with both of these. So assume it like that. So assume there is a some one person sitting in front of a computer taking all the user comments and then storing it in database. So he decides which data should get stored in which database. And again, if someone asks for something, he decides what data to go to the user. So it's just a high level that I'm explaining. Maybe you will get a very good inbuilt, meaning in-depth logic when we go to the course.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I'm working on these technologies only, but in the advanced, I want to know AngularJS.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay.
I'm working on web technologies in monster.com.
Oh, that's really nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I searched for jobs in monster.com. There were around 800 jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Prerequisites for this course, you should be good enough with basic web development concept like what is a get request, what is a post request, why you need a database, what is front end, what is back end. Okay,
Yeah.
good knowledge in HTML, CSS, and also in
Yes.
JavaScript or jQuery. So you should know how to write loops in a JavaScript, how to write conditional statement functions, and very fair bit idea about event handlers
Yeah.
and query selectors.
Okay, but that much I know I can do editing, but not familiar hand coding.
Maybe good to know at least how to write a click event.
Okay.
Basic idea will help. Reason is we'll be having we are gonna write some complex stuff, right? So if you are comfortable with these, you should able to get it very easily.
Okay.
Okay, so if you feel that you are not that good in jQuery or JavaScript, maybe you can just take a small course in that with us, and we will try to brush up what are required for this AngularJS. So before even starting the AngularJS,
Yeah. Yeah.
so maybe you can just take, if not full-fledged Java. So we have a full-fledged JavaScript and jQuery sessions. Okay, so which goes for 12 to 13 hours of course. Okay, if not that, at least the necessary part to learn AngularJS, you can just learn in like 4 or 5 hours. We'll try to cover it up. If not all the topics, at least the event handlers and query selectors, we will try to cover it up in that.
Yeah, okay.
So maybe you can think of like a bridge course for AngularJS, 4 or 5 hours like that. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That we can work it out along with Shailaja.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And this is the course content. Whatever topics that you will be seeing in the course, I have listed down. Okay. But as I said earlier, we'll be going by theme-based training, and every demo will take up a few concepts from each of these topics and put together. You will learn how they work. Okay, so slowly the complexity increases, and also the topics behind that demo will increase. In which way, end of the course, you will cover all the courses with a proper complexity in it. Okay, so I will not be going by what is directives and tell you what are the different functions that are available, what are the different models that are available. I will not go like that. We will take up an example. We will see one function that is available in directives that is useful for this example. We will take one filter that is useful for this example. Okay, so that's how it works. Just to give you an idea, I'm just walking you through each of the topic. We'll be starting with environment setup, which is very easy, nothing big, and we'll be just looking at the basic web concept, and I will try to tell you what is the NV architecture properly. So I'll be explaining the architecture diagram which I showed in few slides back, and we will give in-depth knowledge on how it works, and we'll just create a very small first application. And then directives means we'll be having lot of extended HTML tags which helps in writing your, so HTML tags will have few more tags. Okay, so normal p tag, you would have heard about anchor tags, div tags, and we will have few more of it in directives. And controllers, as I said, will help in communicating between database and the front end. Lot of filters are available. For example, if you want to display the same parameter in different currencies, the same number in different currencies, that is also available. So a lot of such filters. Table sorting is available. You can sort them. You can just give us a command in the backend, say order by this column, and the front end it will order by that. So you need not create again one more sorting to sort it. If you are decided that this is how you're gonna sort it, you need not write a function to sort it. A lot of inbuilt modules are there, and form validations. So you have a form you want to validate. AngularJS will help a lot in that. And you will see how Ajax get request and post request is working on. Okay, and few other complex topics like factory service, dependency injection, those things as well we will cover during the projects. As I said, we will not go one by one. We'll pick one or two topics depending upon that particular project. We'll learn them, and as we go, the complexity will increase. That's the whole idea. Course deliverables, we'll be having lot of mini projects, and in the end we'll have a good project with all the concepts covered. And if need possible, if we have time, we'll see how to host it in Amazon server, so that you can showcase your project to the outside world. You will be getting the training videos, whatever I'm talking, you will be getting recorded in the class during the class, and you can have a YouTube playlist, so that will be given to you, and the code base will be in my GitHub repository. Comparing to the software requirements, nothing big. You will be just downloading jQuery and AngularJS JavaScript files. We'll be using Python Django in the backend, but we will not cover any depth in Django. It is just to make sure that whatever data we are sending, it's getting served in a server side, just and retrieving few data from the server. Just for passing data, storing data, and retrieving data, we'll be using Python Django. And in one class, I'll just introduce how to run a Django session so that it will be complete. So it's not like you just learn Angular, the front end alone. You should have know how to connect with the back end. That is the real time application now. Just knowing the front end and without knowing the how to connect it to the server and retrieve data or store data, the loop won't be getting closed. So that's the reason I'm choosing Django, because it's easy to just start a backend server compared to other web services. This is easy to start with and very intuitive, so you will not waste much time on learning Django. Just a one day class, I will let you know how to use it. So that is more than enough. So that's the reason I chose Django. You can create a web application quickly, and we need Google Chrome, and we'll be using Sublime Text 2 as an editor. I'll be writing all my codes using Sublime Text 2. And Git Bash, if you have, you can pull the code, updated code every day, and if needed you can also contribute to the repository. You can add some complexity to the example, or you can create a new example. So it will be like a good interactive way between you and me. You can also contribute, which from which I will also learn.
Yeah, Git Bash is a tool or a blog?
Git Bash, so you would have heard about GitHub.
No.
Okay, so GitHub is a version control repository. Okay, so if I am writing a code today, I'll be pushing my code to that repo. Okay, so it's an online repo version maintaining controller. Okay, so I'll be assume that you have one file with you. Okay, and you
Yeah, okay.
assume a web service like a Google Drive. Okay, Google Drive is more of UI. This is more of command line.
Yeah,
Okay, so you assume a command line version of Google Drive. So you push your one particular code today to GitHub.
yeah,
Okay,
okay.
tomorrow you are gonna make some changes. Okay, and then again you will push your code to GitHub. So like that, assume you have done like 5 or 6 days of code changes now. And if you
Yeah,
want to revert back to previous day code, okay, that will maintain your version history. Okay, so at any
okay.
given point time, you can go backward and say, I don't want past 2 days commits. I want three days before whatever wrote. I want my code in that particular format. Okay, so you can go back. So that is one use of having GitHub. You will have version control. Okay, second is
Yeah,
you can collaborate with people. So here in our course, I'll be writing code and I'll be pushing it, so you can daily get the updated code alone. You need not download it every time if you have a git bash in your machine. Okay, so that also I will explain how to pull the code from the repo, so how you guys should pull it up. That also I will explain during the coursework. Okay, so assume we'll be doing a
yeah, okay.
collaborative workflow. Assume it like a collaborative workflow. I'll be working on one file. If you are also working on the same file, we need not send mail every time to get that like, hey, I have done some small work, update it in your code as well. So it need not be every time. We can't just send mails. You push the code to GitHub.
Yeah,
I will pull it from GitHub. Okay,
okay.
so and this is what been used during software development. So any company you go, they'll be having some sort of version control, whether in online GitHub or they would have downloaded their own server, and then within their network they would have installed to GitHub. And Git is primarily used by
Okay.
majority of the developers, and a lot of companies have version controls. Without version control, a proper development cannot happen. And this is one
Okay.
prerequisite if you want to go for any development. I'm not talking about web development. Let it be Java, let it be PHP, let it be .NET. Any program you write, you need to have a version control in the backend, because a real-time
Yeah,
project, it's not a 1 day or 2 day project. It will be like 6 months or 7 months project. And end of third month or fourth month, what if you want to revert back all your code and go to a previous state of whatever was there during the first month? Okay, so that is one main reason. Okay, and there will be a repository of your code. What if tomorrow you are leaving your company, or if your system is getting crashed up? Okay, so whatever 3 months work you have done, you will get it lost. So it's like a Google Drive which constantly updates. So in Google Drive you'll have a very GUI which automatically synchronize with whatever you have made changes, whereas here assume it that you will be pushing it every now and then.
Okay.
So that also we will cover. That's the idea here. So instead of just learning AngularJS, you will learn AngularJS using a lot of demos, but also you will also get to know the peripherals. Peripherals here mean I said you will have a Django server in the backend so that you will know how to interact with Django. Okay. So no other course will explicitly tell you that you will have to need a backend server. So they will just explain you everything in the front end, and some backend they will have, but they won't let you know how you interact with them in the server, which you will encounter when you get into real world application. In real world application, it will be both front end and back end. You should know how they handshake. Okay. And also, as I said earlier, if you have some project in your hand, you should know how to host it in a real time, so that you create a website and show people that, hey, I have done this particular work. You can put it in your resume saying that please go to this particular web page to understand what I have done in AngularJS. So that is also some part that we'll be covering during the course. So it doesn't just concentrate purely on AngularJS. It's a complete loop that is we are trying to provide it during the course.
Okay.
And so just to give you an idea of how AngularJS work, I am just going to write a simple code, just a flavor of how AngularJS is working out.
Okay.
So this is Sublime Text 2. Okay, so like a normal editor, I'm pasting the code here, and I'm saving it under live. I'm saving it as index.html. Okay, so here if you see, I'm just quickly walking through different parts of it. Ng app means it says that AngularJS is there in the backend controlling this template.
Okay.
And ng model is one directive, ng show is one directive. So this is how AngularJS different directives. So moment you see ng hyphen something, which means that it belongs to AngularJS. Okay, and I'm calling the AngularJS CDN here. So I'm referring to angular.min.js directly from Google APIs. Okay, you can download your own copy from this website and keep it in your local machine. Okay, so
Okay.
now if I go to index.html, now I'm just gonna type something. If you can see, as I type, it gets displayed in the bottom. So I have not written any jQuery action here to understand or listen to what the user is typing, and I'm not displaying it. So assume if you're gonna do the same thing using jQuery. Okay, the steps that you'll be doing it is this. So in jQuery, I'm just giving the steps. So you will be writing a selector first to get handle of this particular div element, whatever here, this particular input element, whatever is the user is typing, and on change, you'll be writing some function to get what is the user is selecting, and then based on that take input text. So input, some user has entered something, so you'll be capturing that, and again you'll be capturing this particular div element using some selector, div dot, and you'll be giving some class and then say HTML is input under user. So this is kind of I'm just giving a glimpse. I'm not going in depth. So this is kind of functions that you'll be writing in jQuery to detect what if there is any change here, and one more line to show what the user has entered. So this is how you do it in jQuery. Whereas using AngularJS, you are not writing any such form equations or any such models. So you're just blindly writing something here and it is getting displayed in the bottom, because AngularJS know that this is a model which a user will be entering, and this is what you have to show it here. Okay, so these two directives understands that something is going to get entered here, and whenever you say show, whatever is being entered there will get showed here. So this is a dynamics username, so it's a variable here. Okay, just an idea, don't worry about whether you're able to get it or not, just to giving a glimpse of how AngularJS will work, and how easy to get started. And moment you know what ng model and what ng show does, it's just two lines of code for you to write this particular application. Just an example, so don't think
Yeah,
whether you are able to get it or not. Anyway, during the course I'll be properly walking you through each of it.
yeah, but these are inbuilt libraries, JS min.js.
This one, AngularJS.
Uh,
So that is the that is the AngularJS module. So you have to download that in your local page. That is a JavaScript file. Okay. So if you go to
yeah,
AngularJS,
like Bootstrap only.
no, it's not Bootstrap JS. So you just download. So this they have. If you go to download page, you can download the JS version of it. Okay.
Okay, okay,
So it's like any other JavaScript file, external file plugins.
okay,
So you need not have a separate installation, nothing. You just have to download this JavaScript file.
okay.
That's how
For
it.
any programming, for any program, we have to insert this one.
Yeah, if you going to write some application using AngularJS, you have to download this JavaScript file.
Okay,
So this is where backend
okay,
all the functions are defined for AngularJS,
okay.
and no separate installation.
Uh-huh.
Different projects that we'll be seeing here. Okay, so to do app will do customer management app. We will be creating few charts using AngularJS, and then we'll be having a shopping cart. So these are the different four projects. Apart from this, we will also pick few small projects as well. Small projects like toy examples that we'll be picking up daily. Apart from this. So just to give you idea of what are the different projects that we do. So this is like one to-do app where you just type something and enter. It will get added to your checklist. So, and you can just say whether it's done or not. It's just an image that I have copy pasted here. Okay. And customer management app where you can create a user name and the city, and you will have a card for that particular user, and you from the backend you can just know how many orders he has placed. And when you go to orders page, you will get a summary for that
Okay.
particular user of how many orders he has made. Okay.
Mhm.
And shopping app, you can have a, like assume it like you have a shopping website, so people can say add to cart, and if they want they can click on the individual item to get the proper description of that particular product. So these are the different projects which will help you understand the core concepts behind the AngularJS. and that's
But
how.
shopping carts mostly are used for PHP or this WordPress and Joomla
Which one for?
shopping carts.
Yeah, but you will see how easy it is and effective is in AngularJS.
Okay.
And that is one which covers a lot of basic concepts that you should know in AngularJS. See, the
Okay.
examples here helps you in understanding the concepts. As I said, the learning curve is high. People at times get doubt whether they're able to learn because the complexity for the very first time, the learning curve is high. That's why you should learn it with proper examples so that it get registered in your mind and next time it will be very easy for you. That is very key factor why you should learn it along with the tutor. Learning curve is very high compared to other languages, and people say that you can't learn languages literally, but if you have a proper guidance, it will be easy for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for the projects, and this is how I think, and we'll be having around 18 to 19 hours of course. That for timings, Shailaja will confirm it to you. Okay,
Yeah.
and then
18 to 19 per
mostly.
daily or alternative days?
Mostly we'll have that timings again we will work it out with Shailaja, whichever works for everyone. Few other people
Okay.
also planning to join, so we'll be having like 5 people joining,
Okay.
and that also I'm not sure. So number of people also I'm not sure, but we'll be,
Okay.
and they purely depends on during the time if someone is also interested we'll send, but we'll not keep it very high. We will keep it short. Number of people will be less so that one-on-one interaction will happen. Students are very high, and you will not able to ask everyone. Can't keep asking questions there, right? And there we'll be wasting a lot of time in others' questions. Okay, so
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll keep the number of people minimum so that one-on-one interaction can happen. That is whole idea that you coming and learning with the tutor so that you'll understand all your queries then and there.
Yes.
So that is also more important. So we will keep you posted on, okay, timings and number of hours. Number of hours will be approximately 15 to 17, or it might go to 18, 19, depending upon how much we cover. Idea is to cover the basic concepts, meaning basic in the sense whatever you are required to learn, and you whatever is required for you to go into a company and say that comfortably that I know AngularJS and you can just crack the interviews. That is what me now. So you should be comfortable enough in cracking the interviews.
Okay. Okay.
That is it. And as I said, timings and when it starts, Shailaja will able to give a better idea of it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Which one works for you? So I'll start with you. So alternative days or daily? Usually we go for alternative days because first day we'll do something. We ask the candidate to work on it for the next day, and if needed, we'll also give some exercise to him so that he can practice and then come to the next day. So which works for you? Daily or an alternative?
Daily is better, but Saturday, Sunday I can't.
Okay. So weekend you are not available.
Yeah.
So in which case we'll see if we can have Monday to Friday and morning sessions is what we'll be having. Is that okay for you or you want evening sessions? Which works for you?
Evening sessions only.
What time in the evening?
Evening around 8.
Evening around 8. So okay. Morning
Yeah.
7 or 8 doesn't work for you?
No, because sometimes my shift will be in the
Oh,
afternoon
oh,
12
okay,
o'clock.
okay. But 8 o'clock works for you, right? Evening?
Yeah. In 5 days a week, I'm having 12 o'clock. Another 3 days, I'm having 8 to 6.
Okay.
That's
Uh,
why.
so all day, meaning weekdays, evening 8 o'clock works for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will confirm the same thing with Shailaja. Okay, that
Yeah.
we need
Both
the.
are topics.
Hmm?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I will talk to Shailaja then. You can also talk with her and tell your comfortable timings so that she will plan accordingly. So, depending upon everyone, she will plan accordingly and come arrive at a common timing.
Yeah.
So that
Sure.
it works for everyone, not just for one person or thing. So, that I leave it to Shailaja. She will take care of it properly. Okay. Any other questions you have?
Yeah. Yeah. No, nothing. Because a little bit introduction and that much I'm not knowing about AngularJS.
Yeah, just to give an idea of what is that you're gonna learn in AngularJS, what you're going to take away. That is what I've covered. Don't worry about the content. I have not touched anything on content. I just gave a glimpse of how we'll be working. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we will meet up in the first class. Okay. That also date Shailaja will
Yeah.
able to inform you. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Sudhir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye. Have a good weekend. Huh?
Bye. Okay. Thank you.